Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Monday. So today's math lesson is lesson 87. It's on page 452 of your math book. And today we are finding unknown factors when we have multiplication problems. So notice this is actually a review of lesson 4. And this is one of these issues that we continue to still have. Every single time I assign y'all homework, we usually have a question on this. So I'm glad that it actually popped back up in your math book. So the best way to think about it is any time you have a multiplication problem, you are going to divide to get the unknown number. So the unknown number, of course, is the letter. Now the number attached to the letter is the unknown, and it is always the divisor. So that's where we usually get mixed up, guys, is because we flip-flop these two numbers when we divide it and we get the wrong answer. But if you can always remember that the divisor is the one that's attached to the letter, or the unknown as we would call it, then the dividend is the answer. So divisor, as a reminder, it goes outside of the box on a division problem. The dividend goes inside the box. Now another little hint to remember is once you actually divide this, notice how I have a 5 and a 21. So those are two whole numbers. So when I have two whole numbers, we need to start getting in the habit of writing our answer either as a whole number or a fraction if we have a remainder. So let's just write that to the side here. When dividing whole numbers, write the remainder as a fraction. Okay. So when dividing whole numbers, write the remainder as a fraction. So again, this 5 is my divisor. So I'm going to put this 5 on the outside of the box right here. This 21 is the dividend, so I'm going to put the 21 inside of the box. And I'm just simply going to divide. So 5 can go into 21 4 times. So 4 times 5 is 20, of course. And I'm left with 1. So the way I'm going to write that remainder is I'm going to write it as 1/5. So 1 over 5. So this will be my answer. Now, when you are doing this with decimals, you're going to write your remainder as a decimal, not as a fraction. Okay, so let's actually skip over to this example since these are whole numbers. I'm going to do this one before I do the decimals. So again, it doesn't matter which one is first. What matters is which one is attached to the letter. So the unknown letter, the number that is attached to it is 4. So 4 is my divisor. And then 45 is my dividend. So I'm going to set my problem up like that. So again, once I have it set up correctly, I'm just going to divide like normal. So 4 can go into 4 one time. And I'm sorry, I'm having to write a little small there. Okay, 4 can go into 5 one time. And I'm left with a 1. Now remember, these are whole numbers, so what that means is I'm going to write my answer as a fraction. So I'm going to have 11 and 1/4. And that is my complete answer. Not too bad, right? So now let's move on to decimals. So I'm going to put a little note here. When dividing decimal numbers. Write the remainder as a decimal. And again, I will post pictures of these notes as usual. That way you can take your time and write it. Okay, so again, I have to figure out which one is my divisor and my dividend. So my divisor is the number that's attached to the letter. So 0.6 is my divisor. And then that means that 0.048 is my dividend. And notice, this is just a review, notice that 0.6 being my divisor, it's a decimal, so I must move this over first, and then I have to do the same thing here in my dividend. So that means that my decimal is going to be between the 0 and the 4 now. So can 6 go into 0? No. So I put a 0 there. Can 6 go into 0, 0? No. So I'm going to put another 0 there. Can 6 go into 4? No. So I'm still going to put a 0 over that 4. But can 6 go into 48? Yes. And my answer is 8 there. And I ended up with a 0 remainder, so I'm finished with that problem. Now, I don't need all those zeros, obviously. It's a good habit to leave 1 0 in front of the decimal. And of course, you have to leave the 0 that is behind the decimal. But you can get rid of this first one right here if you'd like. So my answer is 0.08. And that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to ask me on a Zoom conference, or you can text or email me, and I will post a picture of these notes. And I hope you had a wonderful Easter break, and happy Monday.